Hey guys, finalKenpachi here. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends reaction video. I'm not really making that much reaction video, but I was in the YouTube and on my homepage I just saw a video and there is a one YouTube channel. It's saying like I do not recommend that play Raid Shadow Legends, and I just start watching that, because if you guys know me, I've been playing this game since the 2019 and I'm official content creator about in this game in the last almost 4 years, I believe now. Quick note, I only spent $14 on this game and the company, the Plarium, doesn't give us any money, guys. They give me ship 2 years ago, I believe. We got this shirt. I got the Streamer of the Year on the 2024 awards. Right there. And we got some cute little badges. Like, that's the only thing I got from the Plarium. They are not giving us money, guys, alright? Plus, I'm also not spending money. So I only watched like half part of the video. We are going to continue watching together. And let me open the video. This video is coming from Shi. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. There we go, guys. You guys can watch the video as well. I'm going to leave the below to the description. I'm going to put that on the 1.2 speed actually. Let's get started. And I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to make my own comment because I feel like Look, I don't want to looks like I'm protecting this game. You guys know me, like my recent opinion about the game, like super pay to win. But besides that, having a pay to win game doesn't mean like it's not enjoyable. Again, I'm not spending money on this game. So let's continue watching this video from the beginning.
Spanning all the way back to 2018 when it launched. Still do, actually. Let's play Raid Shadow Legends. First, I want to cover who created Raid Shadow Legends and the general perception around it. The company behind the game is Plarium Games, who has an extensive catalog of titles, all meant for the mobile platform. From their official site, every game they have made is a free-to-download mobile game.
I never played their other game, by the way. I don't know.
Not really a surprise when you realize that they're a subsidiary of an adult gaming company. When I mean adult gaming, I'm referring to casinos and slot machines. Anyways,
this is old news now. Plarium owned by the MTG group since the beginning of this year. So it's a Swedish gaming company. MTG group. Aristocrat, yes, it was Aristocrat, but MTG now. It's changed. Not sure it's gonna change anything, but yeah.
Boatload of money marketing the game and sponsoring online creators. So this image comes from the YouTuber Ren's reviews. And
that's very good money. Like I usually not getting sponsored by that video stuff. I got a sponsored by Watcher of Ram recently. I don't know, is that okay to say, but I got $100. Why sponsor it? Maybe like we are not that big channel, like that's the only sponsorship I got. Playing this game like almost 5 years now, I never got sponsorship by Raid Shadow Legends, guys. Make it clear.
Allegedly, they have offered mid to high-end YouTubers $1,600 for a 60-second integration. Now, I don't know about you, but that is basically the average income of a single paycheck for a lot of entry-level workers. And making all that in 1 minute sounds pretty good to me. And all you would have to do is pretend to like the game for 60.
I mean, lots of companies doing that. I don't see anything wrong with that though. Like, not only Raid Shadow Legends pay money for that.
Seconds. I'm sure your fans would understand. Plarium also does these deals where they get you to create a dedicated channel where you'll post nothing but Raid content. You'll find dozens of these out there. Now, I'm not sure if these creators genuinely enjoy playing Raid, but you can see that every one of their videos are sponsored.
There is some group of the people, yes, they are getting money from the creating video, from their group, the company behind on them, but official Raid Shadow Legends content creator from, if I'm not mistaken, unless like somebody is getting paid at the background, we are not get paid making video about Raid Shadow Legends. Or income is coming from or viewers from the live stream or the YouTube income. That's it. Like, at least for me as an official content creator, that's how is that work. Raid is never ever paid money to official content creator, at least not me.
Starting off, you have to download the Plarium Play launcher, otherwise you can't play on PC.
I mean, pretty much every single mobile game has their own launcher. You have to download and play on the PC.
Also, I never thought I'd see the day where I actually click on one of those affiliate links to get a head start. It's natural that they have these promo codes that get you free goodies in-game, so I tried entering one. It certainly worked. However, I learned that there is a 24-hour cooldown to enter a promo code.
I mean, besides the other gacha games, I also love to try gacha games, guys, okay? Like, whenever they release it. Raid doesn't have like bunch of the promo code that you can enter, spam it literally, like. So there is a 24-hour cooldown, but there is also not too many promo code we are receiving that often.
It's actually insane. I've never seen any mobile game have this weird barrier here.
I agree with you.
Anyways, what is the
They
basic
don't have,
premise of
but
Raid?
they have a more
Well,
promo
gonna
code.
be honest, there isn't an overarching story that follows a main protagonist, but the story content is basically just a narrator that details the journey of an unknown band of heroes as they adventure across the fictional land of Teleria. There are 12 chapters in the story, and I've gotten through the entire campaign on normal in the 2 weeks I spent. I gotta say, the story presentation is just non-existent. It's a static image of a picture on a parchment illustration, and
That's
the narrator
correct.
briefly explains what's happening. No central protagonist, no character sprites were animated.
They released the Call of Arbiter animated series, so there is like 9-minute total 8 episode, I believe, like a couple of years ago in their YouTube channel. You guys can watch that if you guys enjoying like story animation stuff like that. But in game, I agree with him. Like, to be honest, like I don't even care about lore or the story that much. I don't know. I just don't interest.
Cutscenes. It's as barren as it gets. The champion's lore is dumped as paragraphs of text on the side. The official channel does post occasional lore videos, except why not just put them in the actual game? If you want players to care about the world building, wouldn't it be a better idea to just integrate it into the game's actual story?
Good idea, maybe.
It's like they innately understand that people aren't playing this for the story, so the content for it is just an afterthought. After all, at its core, in gacha games, the story doesn't sell. The characters do.
He's right.
So what
I
about
mean,
the actual story levels themselves? Well, it seems that it's just a repeating pattern of 3-wave enemies with the exact same layout every time, except for a boss challenge at the end of the chapter. No cinematic intros,
that's
no
the
visual
campaign.
spectacles in the fights.
Beginning of the game,
nothing
you guys going to
particularly
face the
memorable except
campaign
that the
more
boss
before
enemy
the
is just another
dungeons.
OR. You'll bring champions of varying rarity into a level. The amount depends on the level type. Everyone's got a normal attack and a few skills that can be used on cooldown. Every unit has a turn meter determined by their speed stat. It's the most generic turn-based system out there. You can also just put the game on 2x speed and on auto mode. Now, let me be clear about something. Raid is an auto battler game. I have no problems with it being an auto battler game. Idle games have existed and there are people that enjoy it. I mean, just look at Cookie Clickers. It's one of the most successful ones to date. It's addicting watching numbers go up. Here's where I draw the line though. The thing about these games with mostly vertical progression is that when you monetize it, it's super easy to sell things to you where you can see its benefits. The gameplay is not what I have problems with. It's how the game uses its gameplay as a means to monetize. If you pay money and get a stat boost to your champion, then use them in a level, then you can easily tell that the money is what got you over that barrier. The simplistic nature of its gameplay plays to that advantage here, and I suspect that was the reason for choosing this design for its gameplay. Aside from the story mode, there are also many other modes where you can farm materials or engage in other types of content. To my knowledge, in the unlikely scenario that you want to play Raid, joining a decent clan seems to be fairly beneficial.
Very important.
Some of the raids and farming stages are only available on certain days of the week. This is of course time-gated content to artificially limit your progress and reinforce you to log in on select days. Classic practice in a mobile game.
Yeah.
There are also arena modes where there's offline PvP and live ones. You have to be a higher level to unlock it, and I imagine that assuming both players have the same lineups and are similar of skill level, there are likely going to be
I mean, there is like point system going on. Like, let's say there's a guy spent like $100,000 and you are have to pay. If your point are match, you guys can match. So it's like very basic matchmaking system, unfortunately.
some strategizing involved, so it's not all just a mindless numbers game. However, once we talk about how to make champions stronger, the concept of fair play will become but a distant dream. We've talked about the raid, but where are the Shadow Legends? Champions are split into many rarities. You can level them by simply beating levels with them, or you can use other champions as fodder or dedicated XP items. There are 3 elements in the game that deal advantage damage to another, with the 4th being neutral. You can also increase the star level of the champion by sacrificing other champions of the same star level, or these turkey items. You can further ascend the champions for every star they have, with these taking the potion currency from in the time-gated levels, where not all of them will be unlocked every day. You can also farm scrolls to get passive perks in 3 skill trees, though these will take quite a while to get everything. You can also level their skills using the skill books, which are also given out in limited quantities. Now, there's a couple of sets of gear you can slap on them. There are 6 artifact slots, and the sets all need a certain amount of the same equipment in the same set to activate its bonuses. The gear levels can be upgraded with substats unlocked at certain level thresholds. You use the common currency silver to upgrade it. Sounds easy so far until you learn that this is one of those gearing systems where the upgrade can fail. So you just waste the silver and have to keep trying until you succeed. This means that if you wanted to max out each piece of gear, you should be expected to spend millions of silver. The problem here is that the game doesn't tell you what the chance of success is. It just displays high, medium, or low.
That
this
will be
paves
great,
the way
I
for
think.
Plarium to change the rates on the sly, and players wouldn't even know what's behind the scenes. If players are winning the rolls too fast and progress too
16
quickly without spending
Palen
much
allowed.
silver,
It's
well, they
costing
can just
lots of
simply
silver.
rig the odds. There's also
Especially
accessory slots
when
where
you
you have
got
to
the
match up the
6-star
faction of the
pieces.
champion and reach certain star thresholds before they can be equipped. I don't think I have the patience to stick around to find out, but there's an additional gear slot for select that I
Yeah,
presume will
they
expand the
recently
grind even
released
more.
that, like,
This is not including
7,
another
8
passive called
months
blessing
ago.
that's unlocked later.
Yep.
Literally layers upon layers of complexity for Raid's gearing system. Now, the closest comparison...
I mean, that's normal thing too. Like, it's keep you to want to improve your champion, and you need to keep playing the game. I mean, what's the point if you can max the character in the day one? There's a similar games like that, like a little bit more easy to progress, but at the same time you are get boring of this game more often, at least in my experience.
Believe me, the only thing stopping me from enjoying these games are the gearing system. I like my character upgrades to be as straightforward and seamless as possible, and this just ain't it. Pretty much every single upgrade item in the game is either time-gated or requires stamina to farm.
I mean, again, that's normal too. Like the other gacha game, he also mentioned like you also need to farm your, I don't know, upgrading character material, like skill material. Every one of them has this kind of system too. Like it's not only like exclusive to raid. I mean, we can discuss like in the raid it's harder to get, but every game have that.
Speaking of which, there's a stamina system with the cap increasing when your player level goes up. However, there is no sweep feature in this game. You have to manually run through each level over and over if you want its drops. There is a super raid checkbox where you can run the level once with double stamina and double rewards. There's also a multi-farm feature where the game can farm a level over and over for you. Okay, so that's at least better than nothing, right? So what's the catch? Well, the catch is pretty hefty. You're limited to 30 multi-farm attempts every day. Why is that? Well, that's because the game can sell more attempts back to you via the raid card system. By paying $10.
Okay, first of all, nobody ever purchased a thing from my experience. About the multi-battle, game actually give us lots of multi-battle. I actually not sure how many I have right now. Again, without spending money on the game. But I can check it. How many I have? I have a 5,000. I have a 5,000 multi-battle. And again, I never purchased it. When you make a progress on the game actually throw you lots of multi-battle. Of course, beginning of the game, you don't have it too much. But at the same time, beginning of the game, you don't have it too much energy as well. Or the champion, like it's going to take some time to make a progress. Like you cannot progress that fast on this game. Like you guys need to understand that future about the raid. Raid is going to take some time to progress, guys. That's
A month, you
not
get more
easy.
XP and silver from battles, and 70
If you are not
additional
spending
daily
money.
multi-subscription fees, and they just can't
Again,
have
nobody
that.
buying
Anyways,
that thing,
this is the
that's
very
right.
definition of
Yeah,
this
without doing anything. You can't even...
other game modes.
Yeah,
Ren
mention
essentially useless. With a pity kicking in after 24 pulls.
That's basically like 3 years almost. Like there is still like bunch of the people like... Actually, this system released the game 2 years ago. This remote system. There is still like decent amount of the player like didn't got any single mythical champion from that shard, which is like you said, it's an end game shard. I personally only got one mythical from them.
Going back to the mystery shards, I was surprised to find that the game does indeed list its internal rates.
Oh, yeah.
As the majority of shards you get are the common ones, you'll mostly be getting the fodder 1 and 2 stars.
Quick note, game every week actually, like every 2 weeks most likely, we are getting like 2x event. So 2x mean like guys, for example, on the engine chart, it's increasing your chance to get epic and or the legendary champion. Double. Which means like epic chance gonna be like 16% and the legendary going to be 1%. Usually most of the players, especially on the early game, I recommended them to save their shard for this 2x event. So it's I know it's not like super increase, it's 1% still, but can help. Same for the like mythical champion.
Even the higher tiers
for the primal and the obviously secret chart.
given out way less frequently don't have good odds. As you can see, the game really doesn't want you getting the rarest characters.
Oh
The
yeah,
Void Affinity
I
champions
totally agree with that. Like, especially this primal guys, if you are not spending the money on the game, even you open your shard during the 2x, which is your chances only 1% to get mythical, it is tough. That's why I call this game like past couple of years pay to win game. But again, I still play the game, I still enjoy the game without spending money at all. It doesn't mean you are not gonna be enjoy, it just means you need to be know your placement. You cannot competitive the game against the Krakens, against the whales. That's it.
The game really doesn't want you getting the rarest characters. The Void Affinity champions have their own shards as
By the way, this champion is one of the best champion, and through the progress on the game, they are gonna give you this champion by free. There is very strong champion, a void champion, mythical champion game actually going to give you just from the progression. That's also the good thing, guys, okay? Like Carnage, Ember is actually 2 mythical champion. Mikage, you can summon her. She's also mythical. So they give like 3, actually 2 of them very, very literally like meta champion right now, Carnage and Ember is. Mikage is very good on the progress as well. So they give us 3 mythical champion, bunch of the void legendary, Marius, Lydia, Lamasu are the void legendary. So progress on the game is also rewarding, but again, they are like one time only reward.
are seen as more elusive and rare. A pity system exists here as well, but again, the soft pity kicks in at 75 pulls for epic characters and 200 for legendary. I should mention that during the 2 weeks I played, the income I got shards higher than blues were extremely limited. This means you have no predictable income of these, if free-to-plays are handed out much at all. If you take a look at the entire roster, there are a lot of rare characters. It just feels like you're getting shafted by every angle unless you pay for more shards. You're stuck on the bottom rung of the ladder unless you open up your wallet. My first impression is that this is one of the most unfriendly gachas I've seen in this genre, and we haven't gotten to the cash shop yet. There are multiple menus to track your daily and weekly missions, and even a timer system where you get rewards just for playing for longer. I am insane and decided to play for 2 hours on certain days, and overall found that the game at this point is massive, requiring you to participate in multiple game modes. Unlike some other daily missions in gacha games, the daily system is quite strict, as it wants you to do every single task on the list to get the final reward. The game throws so many flash sales at you that, at times, it actually feels unplayable. They're so intrusive that you have a difficult time navigating around the menus without one popping up to tell you of the value you're missing.
I hate them as
Going
well.
into the cash shop feels like stepping into a whole new dimension. One of the main issues I have with the game is that certain progression materials aren't farmable, and you have to wait for the game to drip feed it to you or just get more with real money. Say that I wanted to use the champions I do have to build a team with whatever I got. Since it's super unreliable to get rare characters as a free-to-play, you have to make do with their low rarity grunts. However, to upgrade their star level, you have to dump more XP into them, and you need other champions of the same rarity as fodder, or use the turkey token thing. You really don't get a lot of these, so this avenue on how you can progress the account is just blocked by a hard gate unless you wait for the game to give you more or pay up. There is also the premium currency gems, which again you only get at controlled amounts. There is a mines tab in the main menu where once unlocked, you get a small steady supply of gems. Unfortunately for you, the mines has to be unlocked by gems themselves. How ironic. There's also a feature where your characters can...
I mean, when you unlock the gem, it's going to recover itself on a couple of months, so I highly recommend it to unlock that gem.
passively level just by placing them
Can
on
give you like maximum 20 gem a day.
slot and waiting in real time.
There is more part of the game can give us gem as well, but obviously it's not that high. I agree with you.
If
It's
you
not
want
easy
be
to
more
get them
efficient
for
with more
free-to-play.
slots, you gotta pay gems as well. As you can see, there are a few quality of life features in the game, except you just don't get to access them for free. I'll save you the ramble with the cash shop at this point, but you can imagine that it's one of the most egregious I've seen. Mountains upon mountains of shortcut packs, resource packs, beginner packs, and others. Now, to be honest, all this I can maybe stomach. Where I seriously draw a line when it comes to monetization in gacha games is that major quality of life features should never be paywalled. Why pay for more multi-battle attempts when you can just sweep levels for free?
I explained it already, like multi-battle is not even a problem in the game. Maybe yes, early game little bit, but you can still like auto battle in the game. I mean, even multi-battle is not exist, you know, like you can, I mean, very basic. So let me give you a tip about the multi-battle. There is a program as well, people are using it. But basically, like when you start the battle in here, let me actually show you real quickly. When you start a battle in here, it's gonna be over very soon, guys. Give me 1 sec. Like I assuming like you playing on the PC, of course. Don't die, Marius. Oh, he's good. Okay. I attack it with a team setup, so would be die. So when you move your mouse over there, the replay button, and if you have like gaming mouse, which is most of the gaming mouse has like macro system. So if you set up macro, one of your button on the mouse to keep left clicking, there you go, you have unlimited multi-battle. Again, like maybe it's not that optimistic, not many people can do that. Maybe it's not that great example, but you guys can also use that kind of stuff as well.
Like a normal gacha game.
It's I'm not really gonna call that negative part of the game.
Clear that Raid puts in numerous artificial barriers in the gameplay experience and progression to sell you the solution. Let's also talk about presentation. While Eastern gacha games make their gacha characters as attractive as they can be, apparently Western players are more interested in smelly orcs and lizard people. Oh wow,
I heard that a lot, like especially my viewers, they hate like anime style of the game. So most of them play in the game because of the like, it's not anime, you know, anime look.
Champion.
I don't have a problem.
So cool.
Either one
Even
of them.
the champions with humanoid appearances have static facial animations. It pales in comparison to what's out on the market right now.
Yeah.
Granted, the most recent models look decent enough, except their attack animations is just very uninspiring. Usually,
Yeah, I agree with
trailers
him.
in gacha games use their in-game models.
I mean,
to
this
show
is
their looks
miHoYo
in
too.
game,
They are
but
like
not
massive
here.
company,
I
very
suspect
big
that's the
company.
reason that the game uses CGI for its character trailers.
Yeah.
Given that these
They are doing
animated
very good
trailers are
job
meant
on
to
the
advertise
CGI.
champ with flashy visuals.
But
and
I agree
expressive
with him, like,
movements,
in-game
they minimize
animation
the
is
use of
not that
actual
great.
in-game footage, because it just looks shit in comparison. A few years ago, the popular streamer Ninja even got featured as a champion in-game, back when he was still on the top of his game. If you take a look at the trailer, can you take a wild guess what Ninja looks like in the game? It's cluttered, uninspiring, and follows no distinct
We also
theme.
know that
If
whenever
the lore of
first
the
time
game
said
takes
Ninja.
place in a film, why not use a fantasy-esque font or stylize the buttons as so?
They did a
Other
good job on the
mobile battlers in
turtles, so
gacha
they are
genre,
looking
like
very good
Momentum
job.
or UI of Raid is as mobile game as it gets. It also pulls the trick of letting you know when another player got a rare character. It's kind of like how someone might think their chances of winning the lottery is higher when they see another person winning it over the news. Just because you see the lucky 0.1% doesn't mean your chances of pulling the rare characters will increase.
Yep.
And the activity in World Chat is nothing but bots spamming links to their top-up sites. To be fair enough, this game does have a player base that plays it regularly. I'm sure if you really get into it, there are complexities in team archetypes and gameplay strategies. If you had to ask, I think if you try really hard, you can still have some fun in Raid, assuming you're okay with playing another generic auto-battler. Nothing about it stands out, and
It's not generic auto battler. Like Raid is not generic auto battler game. It's not like AFK Arena. Like you have to actively play this game. It's not like you are leaving. I mean, sure, there is farming part. You can leave your PC open, the program I just mentioned, or the like you can set up your macro, whatever. You can make your game auto farming part that is auto clicker. But it's not like you are gonna be AFK and you are gonna get bunch of the stuff, game just gonna throw you. No, if you are not doing anything, being AFK not going to give you any benefit on the game. Keep that on your mind.
from where I see it, you can easily find another game out there that puts higher effort into it and doesn't put as many artificial restrictions as Raid. Now, I've seen a lot of predatory games at this point, but never did I think I'd see something as appalling as this. Raid Shadow Legends is creatively bankrupt, and the only goal I can see that it's trying to achieve is to hunt for the whales that will continuously fund their ventures. Every step of the way, I was bombarded with flash sales, complex gearing systems, and artificial barriers that halted my progression. The most impressive thing it's able to achieve is that I literally can't come up with a single positive thing to say about it. The sole reason why they push marketing so hard is to gather those few but valuable whales to join their ecosystem. Now that I look at it, maybe it's for the best that gacha games are more of an Eastern developer thing. If you wonder why the West never got into the same genre, now you know. Anyways, thank you for tuning into this brief review of Raid Shadow Legends. So let me know what you think. It's certainly one of the gacha games of all time, and I'm curious if anyone has actually played it extensively. Once again, appreciate you for watching, and if you want to go the extra mile, you can support for what I do for as little as $2 a month on Patreon. If you want to catch more gacha-related content like this, you know what to do. Be sure to spend moderately, and always remember, have fun out there.
Let me do my final toast, but I'm curious about his level
To be
here.
fair enough, this gameplay is okay with.
I think he's level 21 only.
I was most impressed with flash sales, complex gearing systems, and artificial barriers that halted my progression. The most impressive.
I think he's only 21. Okay, like here's the thing. Obviously, I agree some part what he mentioned. I disagree some part he mentioned, which is I believe he's not gonna say this kind of stuff if you play the game longer. So it's like Raid is like you need to play, you need to unlock the new future, which is some of them level limit, right? You need to reach that certain level to make a progress there. Even to like getting champion, getting resources for this champion going to take some time if you are not spending money. That's 100% correct. But most of the part he mentioned is beginning of the game. Like he only spent like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks reaching 21 level. I assume in his first time playing this game usually take like 1-2 days to reach that level if you're a pro player. But most of the part he judging the raid is not correct because he didn't play the game long time. It's like you are judging the story game 100, actually 100 maybe too much on this stage, 20-hour story game, but you only play the game like 1 hour. You are like, yo man, this game is bad, I don't like it, but I only play 1 hour. You can still say that there is nothing wrong with it, but you know, some part of the game may be going to be unlocked when you make a progress on the game. As a long time player of the Raid Shadow Legends, you guys see my badge already there, which is the since 2019, and in my last 3 years I'm official content creator of the Raid Shadow Legends. There is a one thing I can 100% sure about this game, especially recently after they released this mythical champion, because they are super power creep, and without spending money it's not really easy to get them, guys. So this part, pay to win. I mean, everybody who play the game, I believe on these days, can agree with me. Raid is straight pay to win game, but it is also doesn't mean as a free to play, which is I only spent $14 on this game 4 years ago. Total spent $14, guys. Yes, we are getting some CC perk from Polarium, like 1000 gem a weekly, some silver, 1000 energy, but this kind of stuff is not really helping you to get end game arena. I mean, it's not helping you to get the mythical champion, and they are super power grip. So that's what I'm gonna say. Obviously, it's helping the progress, but still, it doesn't mean you are F2P. You cannot be competitive on the game. You can still beat the whales. You can still beat the krakens. Doesn't matter how strong champion they have. If you play the game smart, if you know the which champion strong against the which one, which is we call them like meta counter, you can still beat them. But obviously, your chance of the getting like top 100 on especially like live arena without spending money. You need to spend lots of time. Maybe with that you can manage to do that. Like Platinum Arena, Classic Arena, number 1. That's probably not gonna be happen without spending money. But it still doesn't mean you cannot successful on this game. Like I'm in the 22k live arena point right now. And my last season performance, I got again, I only did a 364 battle. But as you guys can see, I have like 400, which is the 800 point difference, right? If I get 800 more points, which is compared to the how many battle this person did, he did 700. If I do like another 300 battle, maybe I can be top 100. The point is not worth it, that much effort, the reward we are going to get from that. But you guys probably understand what I mean. Yes, game is pay to win. It doesn't mean it is not fun, but if you are not spending money on this game, you guys need to prepare yourself. It's not easy to get legendary champion or the mythical champion on this game. Progress on this game going to take some time, but it doesn't mean you cannot be enjoy about this game. Thank you so much for the watching, guys. Again, I'm gonna leave the original video below to this video description as well. Catch you guys on the next time. Bye bye.